Whew. Let's try another stream today, shall we? I thought it might be fun to re-investigate some of the things we talked about earlier today. As usual, I am open to having video guests, or if you just want to chat, I will have the chat window up. Many times we do have guests that way. A little disappointed in TikTok. I was so happy to go live on my second appearance, and I was cut off. And all I can guess is the word fetus seems to turn off the algorithms. Um, so, what can we do? We can keep going on with TikTok, but I fear it might end up being a dead end for me because they might just be flagging me as conspiracy theory stuff or something, which is crazy to think that would happen. So, let's take a look at what we were looking at earlier today, which is this Persian bas reliefs. To do a little Photoshop on them also, so we can always show that as well. Oh, alrighty. So let's take a look at this bas relief again. Why not? Let me look at my share button here. Okay, we're sharing that window. Trying to share that window. It's actually not the one I wanted to show you. Well, it is this one, but it's not the... So here's this bas relief. It's supposed to show, I guess, perhaps a Roman surrendering to a Persian, I guess. And at first glance, there's definitely some oddness to it, right? First of all, there's that enormous gully that's cut across the art piece. That's kind of strange. Of course, I also think the surrounding rock is probably the face of some sort of beings or something. Cool. So we're gonna use my TikTok. TikTok on the brain. It looks like I'm not actually airing on X. Yes, I am. Good. Awesome. If anybody's watching, thanks again. So we're looking at these Persian bas reliefs, these carvings, and I'm wondering if I can do my little drawing thing. That seemed to help once before. So we can try that. All right, cool. So what are we looking at? So we have this huge line going across the thing, right? Well, this is one of those steganographic concealment where you do have to squint to actually see this, unfortunately. You can see when I write on that, right? Maybe there's just a delay. So definitely try squinting. And what should happen is that gully becomes a sort of a brow ridge, and the eyeballs should appear for you in the center. And you should also get something resembling the nose and the mouth. I do kind of feel like going back. We'll do this again anyway. Let's go back. So again, you are squinting. The whole entire thing is a face. That being said, there should be other tridactyl faces within this artifact, and there should also be, well, we'll get to that when we can. But yeah, I think maybe even the surrounding rock. And I think the more people that get used to the tridactyl face and get used to how it looks when it is constructed out of something, I think the more people will probably see things. So let's do this again. So I'm squinting with you, and it is a large tridactyl face. The triangular maxillary plate of the front of the mouth should be appearing. Dark circular eyes should appearing. I always like to do the eyes first, so let's give you the eyes. So you have a couple eyes there once again. Sometimes you can just add a little something else just to help with the sight. Okay. And then there should be very little nose holes. You can barely see them, but again, when you squint, it does appear, and then the line there. So let's just start with that. Okay, cool. Then, of course, I was looking at the lower left-hand corner yesterday, and I feel as though what I spotted could be an exhibit of a possible violation. Violation? No. A violation on the mind from Twitter. A possible depiction of evolution. Let's stop sharing from that part there and let's do another share here. Oop, I don't know what that is. Careful what buttons you push, kids. No. I guess we just keep the entire screen. Maybe that'd be better. Okay, so I added some color effects here. How fun is this? I can't still draw on my screen though. I wish I have to figure that out, how you could do that. I guess I'd have to screenshot it maybe. Yeah, we could do that. All right. And then we can open it from here. And then I can go over here and I can take a little pen for myself. I could maybe change the color, make it black, a little bit wider. All right, cool. Check this out. Again, squinting is going to help you. And once you start squinting, you might see that these eyes of a wide-headed alien start to appear from, it looks like he has like, it's hair, but not clothes. It's like hair, but it also looks kind of therianthropomorphic, sort of therianthropic, I should say. Okay, cool. So you can see why maybe the Maori would associate the eel with these beings. That is a very eel-headed looking thing there. This appears to be the seated god. So imagine that. Is this one of the best depictions of an alien? There's a little bit of a cloaca there. That's weird, all right? Are these the little fin-like hands that we see in the Artemis scans? Right? How weird is this thing, guys? It's supposed to be a horse, by the way. So I made it. I'm not like completely crazy here. This is supposed to be a horse. Obviously, I just colored the front of the horse, right? What happens with these legs? Are the legs going all the way down, or am I supposed to? Let's just zoom in here, right? Well, I guess I'll continue to trace what I have in the black. All right, we have the seated god. One leg has descended and the other leg has not descended. I don't know if it's a common thing in their evolution or if it just happened once, but it seems like what happens is one leg descends first. Over here, do we have a depiction of an insectoid? This is clearly an egg, and we have something coming out of the egg. And then this over here reminds me very much of pig dragon or a type of fetus. Now, if you are squinting, of course, you should be able to see other stuff because if this really is Tridactyl art, then they seem to blast things with their image all over the place. All right. Let's go to Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore, this is partially what, I don't know if this is what got me banned on the TikTok live, but I am super sore about that because I was really excited. I don't know. I was loving TikTok and its usability. Hey, hey, man, what happened to your live earlier today? You mean? Is it going live now or right now? Am I still live? Let me see. We got Gear here. Let's show his comment. I don't know, man. Show. There we go. All right, your comment's showing. Let's see. You mean on Facebook, right? Yeah, I'm on Facebook right now. Can you hear me? I hope. Yeah, it looks like I'm not muted. You might mean from earlier. I just gave up earlier, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was sharing the right screen. I just got frustrated with tech, and so I had to like call it. So what are we looking at now, though? We were looking at what I say is possibly a depiction of a life process of a metamorphosis stage right up to the seated God himself. That might be a very interesting and possibly accurate picture in some ways. How odd, huh? How very odd this picture is. I'm kind of happy with it though. It's kind of cool. And that's definitely an egg with a face in it. I've seen that so many times. I am sorry. Excuse me for yawning. All right. So anyway, we were back to Mount Rushmore. So Mount Rushmore, we should know, is the six grandfathers' peaks. Um, I'm sure the Americans knew it was called the six grandfathers' peaks when they put their forefathers there. So what do we got? Well, they didn't get to this side of the mountain, and I believe that is our alpha god, Ka. I could be wrong. He is the head of the serpent. Now, even though they destroyed a bunch of it and covered it up, I do believe there are still uh, tridactyl effigies to be found. And we could say this is pareidolia, of course, but to me, it's a recurring motif. So I don't know. But feel free to go to Google Earth and snoop around, or even what I'm doing with the various travel videos. You know, I use other people's travel videos to go to temples, and I use Google Earth to go to the temples. I don't even have to leave. And it's funny, I was super bummed. I was like, oh, am I ever going to get to go maybe to Southeast Asia? And now with all these discoveries in America, I'm just like, oh, wow, I could go on a road trip and probably find some tridactyl evidence. So here's some old pictures now of this period of before the four presidents were up there. So you might be able to see more things from this view. You know, it's possible that this is a head here and this is a face here, et cetera, et cetera. Have fun with it. Go zoom in, man. Get a good zoom in on these things because you might be really surprised at what you find at some of these locations. I'm zooming in now. You tell me what you see. I don't even like to say what I see sometimes because I want people to be able to make their own decisions and see things naturally without me forcing some sort of narrative. I do want to share with you what I found. And so I might say, for example, I believe there are faces and heads in this area, and those cross hatching lines were probably made purposefully. So I'm suggesting that these beings had the ability to terraform, to actually change the landscape to their liking. Let's see what else we got. There's another one. This is a different picture, I believe. Obviously, it's still Mount Rushmore. But here we can see a little bit more of the lower section. Now, I want to know, did the workers actually see anything while they were there? Are there any reports of like, oh my God, the place is covered with faces? Because if there isn't, then yeah, that kind of lends credits to maybe I don't have any sort of credibility. um, but if there are, for example, at Milan Cathedral, I was surprised at all those faces that I had to do a little bit of research. And sure enough, there are people who talk about the monstrous faces at Milan Cathedral. You know, like, look at this piece right here. I don't know, man. I think I need to make a trip to South Dakota because there just appears to be just too much stuff, and I want to see it in person or see if maybe it's been changed or maligned or manipulated. I think part of a tridactyl strategy, though, is to cover things with their presence. So no matter what egotistical being were to follow afterwards, there would still be remains of their presence. Here's another shot of the front piece. Kind of spooky looking. You definitely can see a little eye there. Again, it could be pareidolia. I get it. So what else can we say? Man, I was so disappointed. I lost a picture that I thought I took a picture of. I thought I found a piece of carved wood at at the site. Anyway, if anybody else is listening out there, feel free to either drop me a line in the chat, ask a question, or request even appearance. Right now, I just have a bunch of screenshots up on the board, like I'm constantly screenshotting things. But Utah, South Dakota, it looks like there was quite the tridactyl presence. I no longer believe that all those balancing stones are just coincidence and just glacial anomalies. It seems as though the beings revered Mount Kailash, and that perhaps they were continuously trying to replicate Mount Kailash wherever they were. So the eye of Mount Kailash looks very much like a sleepy tridactyl eye. So here's something interesting. I don't even know what this artifact is here, but it makes you wonder, doesn't it? The wide eyes, of course, two elephants. It's funny. Everyone on the Mount Rushmore videos were saying that it reminded them of elephants. Oh, I know what I want to do while you guys are here. So before, I don't think I shared with you the Google Earth. So let's take a look at Google Earth. Here we are at Mount Rushmore. What a spectacle of modern park management. So, of course, you can kind of go first person, right? I noticed that, again, the tridactyls are so thorough. And who knows? Someone said, my friend Cyberlink said, hey, maybe it's just rebranding. So, yeah, they know that they're covering up their old faces, but hey, now we got the new faces. And it's funny because it still looks like, to me, I could be wrong, looks like could be a tridactyl face there looming over the countryside. Yeah, this is what I'm implying. We've always suggested this. How many, heavy metal is probably a good example. The magazine, the cartoon. The heavy metal always sort of demonstrated some antediluvian pre-civilization world where another civilization was here before man. And we've always sort of suggested it. I mean, look at the stones at Baalbek. So at this location here, I don't think we're even looking at weathered monuments per se that were carved. I feel as though these were sort of terraformed to be this way. That the earth was moved literally. The mantle itself of earth was lifted. Look at all this space here. I wonder what this sign says. Probably no standing, no parking, etc. Right? Did I go? I somehow got off on the wrong road. Let's go figure. It's like real life. I'm lost. Where did I really want to go? We wanted to go to the other side of, where are they? Let's find where are the presidents? The presidents are here. This big pile of crap rubble. All right. And it looks like that's as far as you go there. Why don't we go here anyway, just to see, make sure. Okay, so this is like some sort of nature trail. All right, well, I didn't want to be here anyway. So let's pull out because pull out method works, right? Hey, hey. Okay, and da, da, da. I'm sorry, I got lost again. Here we are. So this is where the presidents are. So let's pretend we're coming down the road, and you come around the corner here, and what do we see? All right. Wow. Look at there's Washington's head coming out of the side there. Ain't that weird looking? And again, do we have another giant possible tridactyl face with eyes replicated here? Look at that. Doesn't that look carved? And is that another face right there? I think once the tridactyls are, we agree that they are real and living things, that other people will begin to see perhaps evidence of these beings. Now, if you guys think I'm wrong, please let me know. It's very possible. But I see things over here, even in the grass, and I wonder, hey, is this evidence of their presence still? Right here. Look at that. Doesn't that look kind of like freshly carved? And we're supposed to be looking at the road also. Let's move up a bit. So sorry if I'm quiet. Again, feel free to drop me a line. What I'm doing is we're looking at Mount Rushmore, the back of Mount Rushmore, because I believe the entire mountain may be littered with evidence of tridactyls. And it's been hidden so long due to perspective anamorphosis. You have to believe to see. I don't understand why some things get blurred out and others don't. And it's funny too, and I'm looking at some of these things and I see people standing next to like rocks with like looks to be like carvings, and I'm like, did those people see that while they were there? Now what is she pointing at right now? What is that? I don't know what that is. They're pointing. She's pointing at it. It's very weird looking. What is that, right? Also, had me thinking too. Is it possible? You know, if you're like you're if you're a Bigfoot fan, I guess you might think like this. Is it possible as Google Earth drives by these locations? Is it possible that they might just pick up evidence of a living tridactyl? Wouldn't that be wild? I mean, really, is this whole park pareidolia? Because I would really like some other people to look at this because it's a bit unsettling to me. Anyway, I think that's enough of the park right now. Maybe I'll do more frequent streaming when I have more discoveries. So keep looking out there. I believe that the greatest discovery might yet to be found. So maybe you'll juke me and find it before I do. But you'll have to come to me to verify it. All right. Live long and prosper. See you guys soon. We're coming towards a year since the Tridactyls have appeared at the Mexican